Hey, you guys, thank you so much for joining me on this YouTube live on this amazing Thursday morning. I really appreciate you guys coming on and spending time with me. Today's topic that I want to talk about is breaking family ties. Breaking family ties, you guys. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is there's a lot of times that if we don't recognize it, I'm going to bring a light to you that let's say your families now, it's called epigenetics. I overheard it from one of my friends that I met. She's very, very fond of what epigenetics is. I had no idea what epigenetics were until she explained it to me. And what it is that sometimes when you have parents, right, that suffer from stress, anxiety, anger issues, right? And all these types of emotions, it flows through the bloodstream and it gets passed on to the baby. And we grow up with these emotions, right? Right off the bat, as we're growing inside of the stomach. And I didn't even realize this, right? And that's what she was explaining to me, that it's epigenetics, right? But at the same time, right, no matter what our parents went through or what environment we were raised in, does not mean that we have to stay that way, right? We have the ability to break those cords. We have the ability, the free will to pick up and analyze ourselves and say, how can we change for us, right? And we see this time and time again. Your mom, your dad suffer from anger issues. You grow up with anger issues. Your mom or your dad suffer from depression or anxiety. You see that you suffer from depression and anxiety. Your mom and dad grew up in poverty. You're now in poverty, or they always worried about money as you were growing up as a child, and now you always worry about money. Where's the money going to come from? They had limiting beliefs, and now you are grown with limiting beliefs, right? But it's seeing that at the end of the day, there is patterns and there's habits that your family that passed on to you, but that doesn't make who you are, who they were, right? That you have the ability to wake up and look yourself in the mirror and say, I don't have to live that lifestyle. I don't have to have that mental mentality. I don't have to deal with stress, anxiety, or there's bigger ones where you're a lot of times, if you have a parent that's an alcoholic, the percentages, right? 9 out of 10 times, kids who have parents that are alcoholics, they end up being an alcoholic, right? And again, you guys, when I talk to you guys on my YouTube channel, I always like to keep it real, 100. I never talk about a topic that I have not been through. As you guys know my story, and I was in a narcissistic, abusive relationship with, my ex. That's how my dad treated my mom. I grew up seeing my dad, mentally and emotionally break my mom down. And at some points, really beat on her, right? Now, my situation wasn't as bad with the beating part, but the mental and emotional part, man, it was just as bad. And I had to witness my mom, pick up her 3 kids and go to a shelter, to get away from that. And the sad part about it is that my mom did not break the cycle. She did it. She ended up just falling deeper and deeper and deeper into a depression and a hole. And I said to myself, I wanted to break that cycle of, not having a family that's broken up. So I decided to stay. But at the end of the day, that abuse kept going on and on and on. So yes, maybe I followed the same path of leaving and getting out of it, but I did not allow that to keep me stagnant, right? I turned around and said, how can I, that my family's, past situations is not me. It's not who I am, right? I grew up with always worrying about money. So I always worried about money. I always talked so negative about money, right? And I seen that pattern going on, that I was always stressed and worried about money, right? And then I seen a pattern of my mom suffered from depression and anxiety. So I started to suffer from depression and anxiety, right? I was always feeling lack. I was never feeling whole. I struggled. And I noticed these patterns with my parents, right? And I decided, because we all have free will. I decided to pick up and say, I'm going to do the inner work to not allow the past of my parents' lifestyle, my parents' mindset, my parents' beliefs affect my life and my future. Because at the end of the day, those same limiting beliefs and that limiting mindset that our parents have, right, growing up, does not necessarily mean that we need to have those limiting beliefs and limiting mindsets. Right now, I started to say to myself, I don't want to work at a 9 to 5 job. I want to find my passion. I want to find my passion. I want to find my talents. I want to live debt free. I want to be the first person in my family to be a multimillionaire. I want to be the first person in my family to have my name everywhere, where I'm famous and make a difference in people's lives. That I don't want to live mediocre, that I don't want to live average. I don't want those limiting beliefs to suck me down and keep me stagnant, right? That whatever beliefs you have right now are limiting you, right? And you need to break free from the limiting beliefs that no longer serve you, because those same limiting beliefs from the past, right, is not going to help you for the future. That if you change the beliefs that you have right now, right, on those patterns and work on them, it's not something that happens overnight, but at least it's taking charge with your life and running it your way, right? Sometimes in life we get so caught up on the past, right? That how our parents raised us, what environment we were in as we were growing up, was attached on us. And it's in our subconscious mind, like it's normal, right? And then we grow up now with those same beliefs that are not of us, but it's just something that we were taught, something that we learned because of our surrounding. But it does not mean that deep down inside, that's who we are, right? And that's how it was with me, right? I seen my parents, and I was raised in a certain environment, and then literally I lived the same freaking lifestyle as my mom. I went through the same things as my mom, right? And I'm like, I took it in, and I'm just like, I I don't want to live that pattern. Like, that's not who I am. I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter in the sense that I want to do amazing things inside of my life. I don't want to limit my beliefs of the past, or limit my beliefs based off of my parents' experiences in life, or what thoughts that my parents had, right? I want to take charge of my life in regards to what I can do to move onward and forward. And I know that those limiting beliefs of the past is not going to do me any justice in the future. That I need to break free from those limiting beliefs. I need to break free from those past thoughts. I need to break free from those experiences of the past, right? And move forward. Because if you want to find yourself, and if you want to be the best version of yourself, you have to let go of what no longer serves you, no matter what your family has to say, no matter what your family taught you. You need to go forward with your mindset and your beliefs and what you feel is right for you. Sometimes when we want to do something, it's the to move forward in life and follow our dreams. Sometimes it's the family members, it's the people that we love the most and are the closest to us, that will say, do you think that's right? Yeah, you should stay at your job, or yeah, that wouldn't work, or because of their limiting beliefs. That's not of you. And it's so crazy how so many people come up with great ideas inside of their head and they never fall through with it because of the limiting beliefs that they were raised with, right? Or because of what their parents would tell them. And then somebody jumps up and somebody breaks that limiting belief cycle from their family and actually goes forth and invents it or do something with their idea. And then you're just like, shit, I thought about that. One time it crossed through my head and I thought about that type of invention, and man, they took it, they did it, right? We all have something great inside of us that we can do amazing things while we're still on this earth. But it's those limiting beliefs of the past and those ties of our family that stop us from moving forward and doing things to break out of those limiting beliefs and really move forward with our life. This is why so many people out there are so scared to get out of a relationship, or so scared to be alone, or so scared, and become that superstar that they want to become, or that entrepreneur, or create that invention, or whatever it is. We have all those limiting beliefs and scarcity and worry and fear and stress and anxiety. All of those are not yours. Those are limiting beliefs of your parents that were passed on to you, right? And now it's affecting you from you moving forward. That can only affect you and keep affecting you while you wake up every day this morning, until you take a stand and say, I'm going to cut those cords. Cut those cords of limiting beliefs, cut those cords of anxiety, cut those cords of stress, cut those cords of I can't get over this addiction that I have. Cut those cords of I'm not good enough to build that business, or build that invention, or go forward with my dreams and my goals. Cut those cords of all those beliefs, limiting beliefs of the past. Cut those cords of those toxic things that were, passed on to you. That's not of you. And until you cut those cords of those things that are not of you and find who you truly are, you're literally going to just be living backwards of all what your family members went through, right? Or your parents. And it's just mind-blowing on how literally somebody else's past life and experiences can fall on to you. And you look yourself in your mirror and you're like asking yourself, what are you doing wrong? What you're doing wrong is you're not taking notice of what's happened in the past with your parents, with your family members, like your grandfather, your grandmother, that now fell forward onto you. Those limiting beliefs, that anxiety, that stress, that feeling of loneliness, that's not of you. That was passed on to you, right? And that's what I came to realize with myself, and all the shit that I've been through and I made it out of. All of it, those thoughts, anxiety, stress, fear of money, fear of being alone, that was not of me. It was of my mom. It was of my dad. It was the feelings and emotions that they went through that passed on to me as a child. And now I grew up with those limiting beliefs and those feelings. But it's for us to wake up, shake ourselves, and wake up and say to ourselves that that's not of me. You have everything inside of you to say, I'm going to move forward. I'm going to follow my passion. I'm going to believe in me. I'm going to take back my life by knowing that all those limiting beliefs and, external things is not of my truth, and follow my truth, which is inside of me, right? Which I believe in. Because if you dig really deep, you will find what how you feel, what your opinion is, what your thoughts are. instead of worrying so much outside of you, right? And taking notice of, again, what are some limiting beliefs of your past, of your parents, right? What are some experiences that you've seen that they went through that got passed on to you? And if you take a notice of that stuff, it will be like a light bulb. You'll be like, man, yeah, my mom and my dad were always worried about money. Oh yeah, my mom does suffer from like anxiety and stress. Oh yeah, like my dad, his dad was an alcoholic. He's not an alcoholic, but his dad was an alcoholic. Now, like, and then figure out, figure it out. Let a light bulb go off in your head and say to yourself, I'm gonna take a step forward today to cut these cords. Cut these cords, and I'm gonna be the first one of my family member to step up and say, enough is enough. I'm not going to have these limiting beliefs in my head no more. I'm not going to worry about money no more. I'm not going to have anxiety no more. I'm not going to have stress anymore. I'm going to get up and I'm going to do what I need to do to overcome these past cords from my family members that got passed on to me that's not of me. We have that free will within inside of us to step up and say enough is enough. That we are now going to be the ones to step up in our family and make a difference. Make a difference and cut the cycle off, because it's a cycle that plays on and on and on. And if you're listening to this and you have kids, think to yourself, do you want these limiting beliefs? Do you want these past cords passed on to your kids? Because it sure as hell is going to, if you don't cut the cords, if you don't step up, if you don't say to yourself, enough is enough. I'm not going to allow this cycle to continue. And a great example, you guys, I can share off of my experiences is I cut the freaking cycle. I said to myself, I'm not going to worry about money anymore. That no, money is meant to be used as a tool, and I have abundance of it, right? I changed my mindset on that, right? I changed my mindset on valuing money, right? As utilizing it as a tool. So I taught my daughter that instead of how I was taught of always feeling lack, always being scared of money, right? I cut the tie, and I cut the ties and the pattern of, of insecurities, being confident, right? My mom suffered from insecurities, lack of loving herself. I cut those ties off. I'm showing my daughter now how to love herself internally and externally, right? I cut the ties off of being in abusive relationships, not valuing my body, not showing myself my self-worth and love. I cut the ties. I'm showing my daughter now that, right? I'm going to be the first millionaire in my family. I cut the ties to show my family that you can do anything you want if you put your mind to it. That there's no limiting beliefs, that I don't need to work a good job. I need to follow my passion. So now I'm teaching my daughter. I'm being that example. I'm now making a new cycle that now when she has kids, they're going to see what grandma did. They're going to see that grandma cut the ties. Grandma broke the cycle. And now it's going to move. I created a new cycle to move forward, for the new generation that's going to come. Because I cut the old ties of limiting beliefs, right? Of negativity, right? Of stress, anxiety, of worry, of fear. I broke all those ties, and I'm overstanding them and overcoming them so then I can start a new cycle of, positivity, of allowing my daughter to know that she is the definition of love, that she doesn't need to search outside of her, that love is inside of her, right? That she's a strong woman that can do anything she wants as long as she puts her mind to it. That there's not to have any limiting beliefs. To understand that she can have abundance of money. She can be a multimillionaire. She can be successful. She can be anything she wants. To respect her body, right? To know how a man is supposed to treat each other, that a man is supposed to treat her, and how she's supposed to treat a man, how she's supposed to treat herself. I broke the cycle, right? And this is what I mean about cutting family cords, cutting the cords of the past, of what your family did, and not allowing you have the ability, you have the free will to pick up and say to yourself today that I'm going to be the one to cut that family cords, and I'm going to create the new generation for my family of amazing and beautiful things, and not allow the next generation and the next wavelength to continue with this dirty cycle that came from your parents' lifestyles, right? And this is why it's so important. If you're a mom listening to this, or you're a dad listening to this, you're a parent, and you are being that example for your children, you need to not take on the cords of your parents, and now create a healthier and better cycle moving forward, right? And hey, there's some people out there that are listening to this and their parents, they had great parents. None of their parents suffered from any mental health issues or any alcohol or drug issues, or self insecurity issues, or relationship issues, or none of that. Hey, maybe your family out there taught you well, and but there's always something. There's always something that there's something negative that you gain from them, and it doesn't have to be your parents. It could be your grandparents. It could be passed on from generation to generation, and sometimes generation to generation kind of skips generations, right? But it's these things that you acknowledge about yourself that's not your truth, right? And knowing that you have your free will to pick up and say, I'm going to make a change going forward, right? If you're working stuck at a job right now that you hate, right? And you have a passion deep inside of you somewhere, or you don't even know what your passion is. You don't even know what your goals and dreams are, right? Because you've been so blindsided of just being stuck, following the same routine over and over and over again, right? If you're walking blindsided, just don't even know where you're going, where you're heading, what do you want in life, that's walking blindsided. And hey, maybe that's how your parents were, right? Maybe they were just like, get a good job, marry, get a house, settle down, and live this mediocre life. No, we're put on this earth for greatness, you guys. We are put on this earth with a gift inside of us like no one else has, right? It's meant to be used. But are you just stuck with your past family cords that's stopping you, that's limiting your beliefs of going forward with that gift inside of you, right? That's stopping you from moving forward to your best freaking life. So if you're listening to this, you guys have the free will to cut those cords, to say to yourself and make a decision today that I want to live the best life I can with the gifts inside of me. I want to let those gifts free. I want to cut the ties of my family's past and now move forward and create a new future for the new generation that's coming, to make a difference in my life, my kids' life, my grandkids' lives, and really make a change and cut those bad cords from generations and from the past, because you have it in you. And how you can do that, you guys, and what I did is I reflected, again, doing the inner work. I reflected and said, okay, man, my mom went through this. My dad went through this. My grandfather went through this. Man, I want to be the one. I want to be the one to step up inside of my family and make a difference and make a change. I'm going to do it. And then start making a game plan on how you're going to overcome those obstacles. I suffered from really, really bad anxiety, right? And my mom suffers from everything you can think of when it comes to depression, anxiety, stress, all that. And I overcame it. I didn't overcome it with pills. I overcame it by understanding who Tracy is, understanding and digging deep on where the issues lies that was triggering those anxieties. Yes, it was hard. It was not easy. But at the end of the day, it took work and it took effort. And I knew that I was worth it. And I knew that I wanted to break that cycle, that I didn't want to be stuck on pills and be depending on pills to make me feel normal. And I did the work and I put in the work on my mental headspace to move forward. And now I'm proud to say I have not had an anxiety attack in like, I don't even know, almost like 2 years, right? So you guys, it's so worth it to take the time to look at those chords that have been passed on to you. That's not of you, right? And break those chords and break the cycle and create an amazing, beautiful new life for you. That's of you and not of your past chords from your family, right? We have that ability to do so. And how you can do that is first acknowledge it, and then start working on it little by little every day, right? And it all depends on what it is that you're going through. There's different things that you can do, right? To move forward, to work on them, right? Because I can say, I spoke about me, right? And how it was anxiety and how you can overcome that. I could say how you can, work on getting out of abusive relationship, and just from there, not just staying stagnant and jumping into a new relationship, but working on yourself mentally and emotionally, and understand, why did you allow those things to happen, and how can you love yourself more not to allow them to happen? How can you have healthy boundaries? Those are some things I can talk about if you're breaking that cycle of being in an abusive relationship, right? I could talk about that. But then there's people out there that are suffering some way bigger issues with, let's say, their parents were alcoholics, and now they're alcoholic. But it's really that simple, is just make a decision. Make a decision that you want to cut those cords and you want to get help, that you want to break that cycle, that just because your parents made those mistakes, that you don't want to make those mistakes, right? And learn from them. So there's different ways and different areas you can deal with breaking those cords, you guys. But it all comes back down to making a decision and working on your mental health and digging deep on why those things, why did you allow those things to keep happening? And what can you do to make a change? Because we have free will. We have the ability to step up and cut those cords, you guys. So I hope that you enjoy this video. I hope that this helps you in some sort of way, whether it be, again, you have limiting beliefs on money, that money's too hard to get, or you don't have enough money, you're always broke, or cut those cords, you guys. Cut those cords, because money is energy. You can obtain as much money as you want if you work on building that energy and changing that limited belief mindset. So you have the power within you to achieve greatness. Go forward, take this video, take these tools that I shared with you, take this advice that I shared with you, take my life learnings that I shared with you, and go forward to stop all these limiting beliefs and do something great inside of your life. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I say in all my videos, each one, teach one, share the love, share the knowledge. So whatever information and key things that you learned from this video, go share it. Go share it. We can really make a difference with just having a positive conversation and talking about things like this with other people that we love and we care about. And also, you guys, go check me out. I am now on every platform you could think of, right? You're on my YouTube channel right now. Go check me out on Instagram. It's Toronto_Tracy_Gobin. Go check me out on TikTok. I'm on Toronto_666. And then I now have a podcast that just launched, you guys. It's called The Winner's Circle. We're going to give up, me and my friend Tricia are going to give out great tips, on how to sustain a business, entrepreneurial mindset, understanding how your mind works, laws of attraction. We're going to have guest speakers on there. It's going to be awesome. So go check that out as well, you guys. I also have an Instagram page for The Winner's Circle. So it's on Instagram as well, The Winner's Circle. Go check it out. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you so much for the support. I will see you guys again tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern live. Take care and thanks. Bye.